All right, fighters, what's up? It is the 26th of December, 2024, and wanted to hop on here, share a few of my thoughts for you going into the new year. Let me make sure that I'm on and I'm working and all is good here. Just pull this up a second here, and hopefully we can clip this later. So anyway, I don't know if this is all right. Hey, so can you guys hear me? I got a little bit of a different setup here today. Use the chat box if you can hear me. Hopefully we're good to go. Let me know where you're at. I'm always curious where people are at. What do you do? All that good stuff. Today I want to talk about a concept in the contractor fight. You can hear me. All right, Rusty. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Had a different mic set up here and all this other shit with the camera. So anyway, today, guys, I want to talk for a few minutes. Here the day after Christmas, 2024. We are all heading in to the new year here in a few days, which can be exciting. I know if you are like most business owners and contractors, you've got big plans for the shit that you want to do and that you want to accomplish. And today I'm going to give you a concept here, guys. As the thumbnail, the title said, don't mess with the money. It is a fundamental mindset that we follow here in the contractor fight. And when you follow this mindset, good things happen in the financial department of your life. So here's the scoop. Something that I want to just spell out real quick. They want you broke. They do. The system, the competition, maybe even your own bad habits are things that are keeping you broke. These bad habits and all this shit all working against you, but not anymore. Okay? Messing with the money, and I'll get into what that means here in a couple minutes, but messing with the money, my friends, is the fastest way to kill your financial goals and dreams. However, if you master this concept of don't mess with the money, you will be unstoppable financially. Okay? And so what we're doing here today for a few minutes, this isn't for tire kickers that just want to consume shit, okay, and just want to gather some information, or excuse makers that, you're all the reasons that you might be different or whatever. Okay, this is for the true FWs, the fucking winners, ready to take control of the money in their lives. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to have a stronger 2025 in a financial way, now is the time to start. Get some momentum, start working on what's up here. And I'm going to get into some of these things in a couple minutes here for you. All right. These strategies, this concept that I'm talking about has been battle tested. And it's all designed to grow and protect and respect your money. So give me a fist bump or something in the chat, a middle finger, if you are with me so far. Before I get into this, I got a few notes here that I'm going to dig through, and probably have to put on my glasses because I can't see a damn thing anymore, which is really fun. Getting older sucks, by the way. Anyway, hope we all know that. So let's talk about what it really means. Thanks, Edward. Good to see you, and Rusty and a few others. Guys, if you're here, drop in where you're at. I'm always curious, even if you're catching the replay. I like seeing who's here. So, all right. Talk about what does it mean to mess with the money, or what does it mean to not mess with the money, right? And this is something we've talked about in the contractor fight for a long time. And it's really, the purpose of this is to help you live a life where you can be proud of what you're building financially, where you have control of what you're building financially, where you actually have some financial freedom in your life, and you're not just a slave to whatever comes your way. I know when, many years ago, before I personally embraced this, a couple decades ago, whatever it's been now, I was just responsive to everything. Whatever happened, I always felt like I was just at the whim of whatever circumstance was popping up financially in my life that I had to deal with. I was not proactive. And, just be full transparency. One of my tendencies when it comes to money is it's part of my DNA growing up. And it's not an excuse. It's just saying this is part of me that I've had to overcome is I've been an avoider. Okay. I've avoided tough conversations about money in the past. I've avoided making tough decisions about money in the past because I just grew up that way. Okay. I'll save you the whole social worker fucking therapist bullshit. But the point is I recognized in myself that one of the things that was really holding me back many years ago from increasing wealth and making more money is I avoid it because partially I was not comfortable with money. I wasn't comfortable with the language of money. I was not comfortable with how money works. I never was taught how it worked, nor did I seek it out till it mattered to me. Okay. And I know that's how a lot of us are wired, is that when we don't understand something, we avoid it. Okay. And guys, if you're avoiding the money shit in your business, that's a great example of messing with the money, because it's not just going to fix itself in your business or your life. Winners know that every dollar, FWs know that every dollar that they touch has a purpose. Don't ignore any dollar. Okay. Losers, they let money slip through their fingers and they wonder why they never have enough. They're broke. They can't get ahead because they're avoiding. They're not paying attention. They're not acknowledging the facts in front of them about the money, and they're not doing something about it. Okay. So really, guys, when you mess with the money, you end up stressed out. You're scrambling all the time. You're stuck. You never get ahead. Okay. But when you respect the money and you pay attention to every dollar and you're not avoiding and you're embracing these things and you're actively learning more about it and raising your financial IQ, you will have options and power over your finances, peace of mind. You'll have freedom and that good shit. So a couple things I want to dig into here. Let me just say hi to some people here real quick. It's hard for me to see here who we got because I'm on my computer doing this shit. We got Black Fern Fencing. We got Edward. These are just the people that have typed some shit in here. I can't see who else is on here. Epanoloza 52, whatever that means. Sorry, I can't see real well. Christopher Scott, what's up, man? Good to see you. So, guys, let me know if you're here. And appreciate you being here for a few minutes, especially if you're live. And if you're catching the replay, that's cool. Lawn and Garden from Ontario. All right, so let's dig into just how do we apply this concept of don't mess with the money. And by the way, guys, if you're new to the Contractor Fight, I really appreciate you being here. Make sure you subscribe, share the video, check out our podcast, one of the top podcasts in the world when it comes to helping contractors stop stealing from their family and make more money. But guys, to get into this here today, I know we're on a holiday week. Hopefully you're getting some good time off. I thought it'd be a good chance. I'll probably go live a couple times this week, just sharing about some of these concepts for you. When I think of how to apply the concept of don't mess with the money, okay, the very first thing is you've got to stop undervaluing yourself. Okay. Every day that you undercharge, you're stealing from your future self, and you can't get that time or that money back. All right. Many times, and especially in the trades, consumers, and it starts with us, by the way, but consumers will look at a contractor and go, oh, it's just painting a house. It's just hanging a door. It's just doing this. Okay. It can't cost that much money. That's because the world and reality TV and all this other bullshit, unreliable contractors, those of us that do a shitty job communicating, whatever it might be, we keep sending these messages to the world that we're not worth more money. And the reason you're not worth more money is you're not first embracing the fact that you add a shit ton of value to what you do if you are ethical. if you are doing high quality work, if you are someone of integrity, okay, all the things that we say we are, we're all this, we're all that, we're high quality, all this other bullshit. But guys, you really know if you are or not. Okay? Everybody says they are. It's like everybody wants to be a fucking lion until it's time to do lion shit. Well, everyone says they're a high quality contractor until you have a conversation with their actions over the last 30 days and the way they handle projects and set things up and what their bank account looks like and what stories they're telling in their brand. How are they building their teams and training people and recruiting and giving people a future? All these things fit together. So if you ever want to surpass, especially for those of you that are under $500,000 right now, guys, $500,000 is the first milestone. If you have been a home improvement contractor, I don't care if you're solo or you got a team or whatever the fuck it is. All right, if you have been in business for more than a couple of years and you're not at $500,000 yet, I don't think you're serious about it. And I think it starts with you're not valuing yourself. You're playing business as a hobby. This isn't meant to be like rubbing your face in it and accusatory. I'm just telling you, I've worked with a lot of contractors over the years, and I know in my own case, it took me so long to get to $500,000 because I treated business like a hobby, and the root of the problem was I undervalued what I was bringing and what I was worth. All the conversations you've had, all the projects you've worked on, whether you're employee or your own business, all the problems you've solved, all the years of working on your skills and your crafts, all these different things, especially when you combine those with delivering an amazing service to people, that makes you worth more money. And so unfuck what's going on between your ears right now. All right. We mess with the money first and foremost when we don't value ourselves. Second, guys, you have to build a system for managing your money. Okay. This is what the top 1% of contractors do to stay ahead. They have a system that tells their money where it's going to go. If you don't have a budget in place, okay, like right now is a great opportunity. We're 5 days or so, 6 days ago or so, whatever the hell it is, from going into a new year. Do you have a money plan? Do you know what you're going to spend on your fucking truck payments? Do you know what you're going to spend on your cell phone bill and your internet and your marketing, your salary and your office staff? If you don't tell them, this is what I was talking about earlier. See, avoiding this shit isn't going to make it better. Stop hiding behind your tools thinking I'll just work on my tools and I'll make more money and magically shit'll compound in my life and business. Doesn't work that way. You have to tell the money where it's going to go, or the money is going to go do its own fucking thing. It is irresponsible if you do not have a system for managing your money. Now, there are a lot of different things, we don't have time to go into today, but one of them is, are you just creating a budget for your business? In fact, let's not even talk the macro business at this point. Are you creating a budget for each project? This is what we will spend in material. This is what we will spend in labor. This is what we will have left after we produce the project on time and on budget. Okay. And that number left is your gross profit. Do you have a gross profit money plan? Okay. Like, guys, I'm telling you, many of us continue to struggle if we're not paying attention to every fucking dollar that is required to run the business. Okay. Build a system for managing your money also starts with, do you know what you need to, what it costs you, not even what you need to charge, what it costs you per day just to run your business. So we'll look at it this way. Let's just pretend for a moment that you're like, hey, I want to make, $125,000 in 2025. All right. Well, if you divide that by about 260 days, because that's about how many working days there are. Okay. It costs you just short of $500 a day. $500 a day per working day just to pay you. And that doesn't even include the fucking taxes that are coming out. That doesn't include your marketing. That doesn't include your truck payments or anything like that. All right. That's about, 125 grand divided by 12. That's a whopping call it $10,500 a month in your pocket, which is barely a respectable income, by the way, because the value of the dollar blows, inflation is high and all that other bullshit. So if you're not creating a system for managing your money, which starts with what am I paying myself a day? Okay. divided by 20 working days in the month, it's 525. All right. So now that 10 grand, and then you add on another 10,000 bucks. So let's just call it $20,000 a month to run your business. That's $240,000 a year, which includes your salary and the marketing and the truck payments and all the shit that gets paid. We're not even talking your field labor. We're not even talking materials. We're talking, it costs $240 a year, whatever your number is, divide by 260. It's $923 a day that it's costing you, even if you're not bringing money in. Okay. So if you don't have a system for managing your money, you are not implementing and taking advantage of what the top 1% of earners do, really in any field, but especially in the construction industry and the home improvement industry. All right. Third thing here I want to talk about how to apply not messing with the money. Guys, you got to get better at lead generation and sales. Lead gen and sales. Nothing happens in your business. Like you can't pay that $923 a day or whatever our number was or whatever your number is. You can't pay it without a sale. And you don't have a sale if you don't have a lead. Your job is not to work on the fucking tools anymore. Yes, it's part of your role, but your number one job is to ring the cash register. And you ring the cash register, okay? And I could go on and on of story after story after story of people in our programs, people in Contractor Fight, those I've had on the podcast, many of you heard, and on this channel, of people that when they made that mind shift of they understood that if I'm not fanatical about building my brand and getting the phone to ring and learning the skill of sales, selling at an uncommon level to be able to sell at the rates I need to sell to hit my financial goals, then I'm messing with the money. And every day you wait, shit's going to get worse in your financial situation. So every day that you don't do something to build your brand, every day that you do something not get better at sales, like role playing or the prospecting that you might need to do to build relationships. A lot of you guys are relying on Google and you're waiting for people to give you referrals, but you're not lifting a finger to network and prospect and build your own pipeline. That's called messing with the money. I'm going to get to the questions here in a minute here, guys, if you got some. All right. Next concept or thing that's proven. If you want to stop messing with the money in your business, you must stop the leaks of money. Stop your leaks. Stop your profit leaks. Okay. So this kind of goes back to having the money system for managing things. All right. But guys, a lot of us, and I've made this mistake many times in business where, we put so much effort into feeding the top line revenue, but we got all these leaks in the bucket down below. And these leaks come in the form of, you're not pre-planning your projects. You don't have a job plan with the hours mapped out for your team. You don't have a material budget. You're just, going, okay, I sold the job. You sold the job and I'm going to go out there and we're going to do it. Okay. No, you have to create the plan so that you're not leaking out the profits. I see contractors all the time. They're like, oh, I sold a job at a 50% gross profit. I'm like, cool. What'd you finish it at? And they're like 20. I'm like, you fucked up because you didn't pre-plan the job. You didn't manage it daily. And you allowed these profit leaks because you made assumptions that it was just going to happen. Again, you see how we're coming back full circle here, you guys. This goes back to being an avoider. You can't avoid the daily necessary work it takes to manage your projects and manage your business. You can't avoid that shit and expect the money to work out. Okay. If you're not telling where the money to go in your business, it's going to leak out everywhere. Okay. How many of you right now are probably paying for some fucking marketing thing you signed up for 2 years ago that's got a recurring thing going? Or, we all have shit like that, right? Go through and look. What am I paying for that's not adding profit to the company? This is about having standards. And this is a tough one. I've learned this lesson many times in my life in every business I've ever had. I get to these points where things start running and they start running good. And I start, so, and it's not a conscious thing, but I've learned to recognize it now, that I hit a point where I'm like, yeah, subconsciously, like we're doing really good. Kind of like we've arrived. I don't have to be as fanatical on some of the things I used to be. And guys, that's bullshit. That's a recipe for absolutely getting my ass kicked because I'm not adhering to the standards. So if you have something in your business that you're paying for right now, whether it's a marketing thing, whether it's personnel in the business, okay, pay attention to this because this is the biggest leak. People are the biggest leak. I love people. They're the biggest profit driver in your business, but they're also the biggest leak if you are not creating and living to standards. Okay. If you can't point to something or someone in the business that is actually making you money, is giving you a return on your investment. So if you pay somebody, $40,000 a year, what is the return on investment you are getting back? Can you point to the fact that that person is bringing in $400,000 a year? Because in my book, it should be about 10x. All right. If I'm paying a marketing person, okay, $75,000 a year, the very fucking minimum they should be generating from their work and their efforts is $750,000 to $1 million a year. Okay, guys, having strong standards, okay, is uncommon. And it's also one of the things that will help you never fuck with your money, never mess with the money. Okay. So guys, you remember, if you don't respect the money, see, a lot of you are not making money right now because you don't respect money. And imagine losing your business. Imagine losing your house, maybe even your family because you ignored the money. Because money is often a catalyst for many other problems in relationships and life. Picture being a 65-year-old contractor who can't retire, can't take some time off because you let bad habits rule your finances. I don't want that for you. Okay? See, now if you do respect the money, you'll have the freedom to take some time out, to take a vacation, to do the things you want to do without feeling like you got to check your bank account every 5 minutes. Guys, FWs build legacies, not excuses. And I want you to build a legacy. However you define success, whatever amount of money that you want to make. I'm not going to tell you what to make, but I'm going to tell you if you're going to run a business, it better be at least $500,000 because you cannot do the things you want to do in your life if you're not bringing in at least $500,000 as a business. And by the way, contractors, less than 5% of all contracting businesses bring in $500,000 a year. Think about that. Line up 100 contractors right now, maybe 5 are doing $500,000 in your area. That's sad. You can't invest with that. You can't keep the tax man happy. You can't pay for unforeseen things in life and business if you're not at least $500,000. And the reason that most are stuck at that level is because they have not embraced what we've talked about here. They're not respecting the money, and they're playing games with it. They're just expecting shit to get better the longer they're in business. And that is not a strategy. So, little self-reflection for you guys right now. What are 1 or 2 expenses that you've been too scared to cut because you're afraid of the reaction? Maybe there's somebody on your team that either needs to go or you need to, change their roles, change their compensation, whatever it is, because the math ain't mathin'. And guys, by the way, money is unemotional, so let's be unemotional too. Now, I know there's always emotions attached, but I've had to make tough decisions in the past where I loved my team. I love what they've done and this and that. I'm thinking back to the last recession and conversations I had with our painters and this and that about cut and pay. But we also flipped it and, we were open and honest and we said, here's how you can make more money. And then those that were true FWs on our team, they took advantage of it and they actually made more money even with the reduction in base pay because we mapped out some standards. And these are tough conversations. So what are those tough decisions that you have to make right now? Think about it. What are some of the things that are getting in the way of you focusing on the money? Maybe it's your bullshit story you're telling yourself. Like, oh, I'm not good at math, so I avoid money conversations in business. See, not only did I used to avoid you guys, I used to pawn it off onto other people in my business because I was so insecure about it and didn't understand it that I needed a scapegoat. It's actually one of the reasons that many, many years ago, when I had my first business partner, one reason, and I don't regret the partnership, but if I'm honest, one of the reasons that I had this first business partner is I didn't want the sole responsibility of having to figure out the money of a company. I was that insecure about it. So own your crap in that way. Okay. And listen, I have all the respect in the world for you guys that are embracing this stuff. I mean, the fact that you're here right now on December 26th at 1:48 Mountain Time, okay, I appreciate it. That says a lot about you guys, okay, but you're not done. Just consuming the knowledge is not enough. What are you going to do with it? And it starts with outlining the facts about your financial situation. What are the facts about your sales this past year? 2024. What are the facts about your lead flow? What are the facts about how you ran your job sites, how you pre-plan your jobs, how you trained your people, how you communicated with your customers? What are the facts about, your follow-up with your clients? What are the facts about your financial discipline and creating a budget? Okay? They're your facts. They're your facts. And they tell you the truth. Sometimes they piss you off first, and that's okay. So guys, the FWs that take action today, that you're going to dominate in 2025. Okay. Those who don't, you're going to be in the same spot. So it's totally your choice. If you have not yet grabbed our 50% gross profit cheat sheet, go to thecontractorfight.com/50 and just grab it. It's free. Okay. It will help you with your money plan on your very next job. Because I wanted to give you something actionable here today, having that money plan. Okay. Well, if you don't know where the money's going to go on a job, how do you know what to charge? So go to thecontractorfight.com/50 and grab it. So guys, starting right now, I'm going to open it up for some questions here in a minute. I'm going to hit the chat. Go back to your numbers, find where you are bleeding. Look in the mirror and have an honest conversation with your attitude towards money. Are you respecting money? Are you avoiding having to dig into the numbers because you don't like the truth that they might tell you? Okay, I've been there with all that shit, guys. I get it. Fix it. Find where you're bleeding, find where you're blowing things off, and just fix it. It is not very complicated. It's incredibly simple. So you got two choices, right? You can keep messing with the money in the ways we talked about, or you can do what fighters do, okay? And you can fix your shit, take control. All right? So you're in the fight now. If you're watching this, so act like it. All right, let me hit some chat questions here, and then we'll get out of here for the day. Looks like we got a bunch of shit going on in here that I'm missing. People always asking where you get your leads from. I tried this, guys. Never mind. Rusty, 35-year business and weren't job costing. YouTube videos, know your worth, charging 50 when bidding. Good for you. Cody's in 719. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. What do I do with my money the day I get paid? I just got paid $5,000 and I'm eager to spend it on something. Well, Edward, what the fuck? Do you have a budget? Like, just like your home has a budget, your business should have a budget. So you tell me what you're doing with that $5,000. Okay. I don't know what you got. Did somebody just give you $5,000 because they think you're fucking cool? Or is that a deposit on a project? If that was a deposit, call it a 50% deposit on a $10,000 job. Don't fucking spend a dime of that, because that $5,000 you need to produce the job. So I have no idea, because there's no context here. Keeping it real. Closed 575 in their first year as a GC. Nice job. And let's see. I'm just looking for more questions here. I'm on point. Granite fabricator, because their pricing is no longer my business profitability comes from. Keep it real. We dropped a couple long-time contracts. Okay. Joe from JFC Pros, have been with you since you had the spiky hair with the gel. I'm a big fan. Yeah, that's what the queen. First thing the queen did, we started dating. She said, "You gotta get rid of that stupid haircut." Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. So Edward says, "I'm just extra cash." Okay, so you got 20 grand, or I'm sorry, 5 grand. Well, depends what your goals are, man. I mean, if you have debt, you can pay debt. If you owe taxes, what I would do, because remember, depending on how your business is set up, Edward, you are taxed on profit. So that should be a conversation that you're having with your CPA based on your business entity, what your goals are, what your tax liability is, and all that other stuff. So, for me, if I'm totally free and clear on an amount of money, let's just use the 5 grand that you got here. I'm a fan personally of investing that into my future. And sometimes that's investing it into marketing that I know is already working. Sometimes it's putting it in an investment account. Sometimes it's, putting it into a savings account that's bearing interest. And then when it gets to a certain point and the right deal comes along, I could buy a property and have some money to put it down and flip it or hold it and rent it, whatever it might be. So it all just depends on what your goals are, brother. Okay. Other questions? Braden, when is a Battleground open? I don't know yet. How am I phrasing this? I don't know yet, because it's officially closed right now. But Braden, I would ask you, where's your revenue right now? If you're not at least $500,000 a year, I personally, again, I don't know your situation. Like, I know, let me preface this by saying some people are brand new startups. They're under 500 grand a year. They want to do things right, and they have a spouse that works and pays the bills, and they don't have the financial pressure to feed the family. Okay. Most contractors are not in that situation. So if you're a contractor that doesn't have a spouse making bank or a significant other, you're 620. So yeah, you're right there. Then we can definitely help you. The reason I say that is because we're going to ask you to implement some things that you're going to need some money for, not to pay us, but just to implement. You're going to have your time really dialed in, because, we're making some tweaks in the program this year. We have daily sales training calls. I do a weekly coaching call, training call in the group in Battleground. And I just find that those that are not doing at least half a million a year really struggle with implementing some of the things, because they haven't figured out the basics. Like I said, getting to $500,000 is the first step. So I appreciate the question. AA, what's the marketing that is working? You track that. It's different for everybody. Whoever asks AA, whoever that is. Okay. I don't know. What's working for you is going to be different for me, and and everybody else. So, guys, that's for everybody. You want to know what's working, you have to track your shit. That's what I was talking about earlier about having a money plan. Not messing with the money means you track your leads and your sales. You know where every job comes from. You know where every lead comes from. You know what your average job size is per lead source. You know what your gross profit is per lead source. Okay. You know what lead sources and types of projects get you the best reviews, all these different things. Guys, this is what it means to take control of the money in your business. All right. And if you, I'm just telling you, right, I'm telling you this because I love you guys. I truly love you guys and I want the best for you. If you are not willing to track your shit, shut your doors and go work for somebody else. If you're not willing to create a budget and job cost and build your brand and post on social for fucking free, all right, and get more eyeballs on you. If you're not willing to train your team and have weekly operations meetings and do daily huddles on the job site to talk about the scope of work and the milestones. Guys, if you are not willing to do these things that it takes, I'm begging you to quit. I am begging you to quit because you are just going to pile up debt. Seriously, I've seen this fucking movie too many times. All right, in 2 to 3 years, you're going to have $500,000 in debt. Your marriage is going to be fucking on the rocks. Your health's going to go to shit. All right. You're going to work your ass into the ground every day and you're not going to have anything to show for it because you're not doing what a true 1% uncommon contractor business owner will do. If you're not, and there's no harm in quitting, by the way. A lot of you guys will double your income if you go be a right hand to somebody else or a foreman or whatever it might be, or a salesperson for somebody else. You will be way happier, make a shit ton more money. So if you are not willing to pay the price of what it takes to win in business consistently, please hang it up. Close your business down. I'm serious. Do it. Now, if you're on the flip side of that and you're like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, then there's hope for you. Okay. Especially if you're under $500,000, stay tuned. Be watching on the channel here on the podcast. And if you're not on our email list, go get on it. We're opening our contractor business school, which opens in a little over a week, January of 2025. It is specifically built for those of you that are not yet doing $500,000. And there's going to be some pretty cool things. And in short, guys, I'm not giving all the details yet. This is the highest value, lowest cost business education program ever for contractors. Okay. So details will be coming soon on that. Be emailed out to the list and posted on social. And I'll be doing a video here when we're ready to officially open it up. You'll probably start seeing some content for that here pretty soon, but I believe we officially open on the 6th of January, where we're opening the doors to Contractor Business School. All right, so let me get back to the questions. Rusty, what's up? Tom, do I keep raising prices on service work until you find an objection? It raises it from $85 to $405 an hour and had 3 objections in a year. Well known, and people never question it. Hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, man. I mean, it depends on your lead flow. It depends on a lot of things, what your goals are. You know, my thing is we want to fill the airplane seats, right? Every month there are working days, right? So let's just say there's 22 working days this month. Okay. It's not because of the Christmas holiday, but let's just say it's a normal month. You got 22 working days on average when you take weekends and holidays out throughout the year. Okay. Now, if I'm a one-person company, just doing the service work myself, the painting, whatever it might be, times 8 hours a day, I got 176 airplane seats. Okay. It's working days times 8 hours a day in the field. That's 176 man hours that I have to fill, or what I call airplane seats. Okay. Well, if you have 22 working days and 3 employees times 8, you now have 525 airplane seats to fill. Okay. And remember, we don't want the plane taking off to the destination unless all the seats are filled. So whatever you got to price your work at, Rusty, to make a profit and fill those seats and keep the seats filled consistently, it sounds like whatever you're doing with your experience that you're giving people is great. Sounds like you're giving a great experience to people. So probably making some bank here. Now, I don't know if this is just you that's performing this or not. But again, these are things that I don't have context on. I've been a fence installer. What's my next step to make it into a company? Says John. I've been a fence installer as a side hustle. What is my next step to make it into a company? I love how you're doing it as a side hustle, John. I would encourage you personally. I've started many side hustle contracting business. I have one right now, actually, in Colorado Springs. It's called Simplify Painting. I'm doing it incredibly part-time because I run the fight and I do some other things. A side hustle, and I did a video here, John, recently, within the last few months, I think, last couple months. Let me see if I can find it for you. View channel. I know it's here somewhere. From that to this, simplified painting, ladder, how 3 months ago, 4 months, launching your home launching your home improvement side hustle.
Talk to you a little bit about how to be successful if you are starting your home improvement business as a side hustle. I know a lot of people do that.
So, dude, I would go to the video we dropped 3 months ago called Launching Your Home Improvement Side Hustle. So I think you're in a unique situation as a side hustle. I think it's a great place to be because you don't have to eat from it. And so you can actually spend, like I'm doing, I'm spending all the profit from all of our projects back into marketing. That's phase one. And then phase two, I'll be hiring a sales team, project manager, and some other things so that I'm going to build this business on the side that doesn't depend on me to do any work except train the team. Okay. So you're in that same situation, John. So watch that video, check it out. If you're not on our email list, get on our email list because we got a lot of good stuff coming your way. Edwin says, I'm working on that today. Edmund also asks, what's the correct percentage for a good salesperson? Depends on your goals. Depends on your average job size. Depends on a lot of things. As a painting contractor, I'm looking for somebody who's, because painting projects in my world are typically, the average job size might be, depending on the time of year, it's usually lower in the winter and higher in the summer, right? But it balances out to, call it $5,000. Okay. Well, it's not a lot of money to hit your goals. You got to sell a lot of jobs at $5,000 to do $1 million or more a year or $500,000 a year, whatever it is. Some of you guys that are doing remodeling projects and kitchens that are $100,000 or whatever, you might only need 5 of those a year, right? So it really just depends on what your goals are, Edwin. But I would say a rule of thumb, and I'll tell you this, a lot of it also depends on the quality of your leads coming in. Okay, so I did a training a few months ago because I started Simplify Painting in July, you guys. And in my first 3 months, I generated 238 leads, but almost all of them were cold leads, meaning I'm paying for the marketing. I'm paying for the leads because I don't have a brand for Simplify Painting yet in Colorado Springs because it takes a while to build a brand. Okay. So I'm paying for leads. So my close rate on those is going to be way lower than my close rate on relationships and shit that I'm building as a salesperson. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. It's really going to just depend on the lead source. So, that's why I tell people to network, work your past customer database. You see, as a painter, I see a remodeler drive by, I fucking take a picture of the truck, or I call the number on the truck and I'm like, hey, you build stuff, I paint stuff. I thought we should know each other. I just build relationships and ask questions. Okay. I have the same materials. Every owner operated, brother and I do all the work. Father started garage door business 1989. Yeah. So Rusty, sounds like, if your airplane seats are filled right now, or you and your brother or whoever that you said it is, are maxed out on the calendar. I don't know how many service calls you can do a day or whatever it is, but and you're stacking some wins and you're making money. It sounds like you got I don't know. You're like, we're charging $405 and had 3 objections in a year. I don't know what your revenue is unless you told me earlier and I just forgot. Okay. But, just got to reverse engineer the math based on your goals, things that you want to accomplish. All right. Last call for questions. Any other questions? because I'm officially taking this week off. The Queen and I are going to go hang out and do some shit here. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to go do something. So I'll give it about 4 or 5 more minutes here, guys. Last call for any questions. I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, if you have not yet grabbed, I'm just putting a link in here. contractorfight.com/50. If you're not on our email list, just go there, get the download. It's a free download, and then you'll be in the loop of all the shit we got coming your way. Keeping it real. Thanks for being here, man. Any other questions? Any other questions? Nada, nothing. Where'd we go? What should I do to know my numbers? You should track your shit. Start with the download able that I just gave you. Okay. Go to the contractorfight.com/50. No, Rusty, QuickBooks is too fucking complicated for 99% of you guys. Seriously, hire a fucking bookkeeper to run your QuickBooks, guys. Do not, I have met like one person. I've met one contractor who his whole career, he did his books himself and he retired a multimillionaire. Okay. One guy ever. I'm not saying this to be an asshole, Rusty, or anybody else. All right. What I'm telling you is, guys, you're not a bookkeeper. So don't do your own books. That is no different than Mrs. Smith saying, come, I'm going to remodel my own bathroom. It's ridiculous. Mrs. Smith doesn't know what the hell she's doing to remodel a bathroom. All right. And it ain't going to be as good as you doing it, who the pro is. All right. Abel's got the spreadsheet. So Abel, what's your revenue right now? What's your monthly revenue? All right. But just having an accountant in QuickBooks, Rusty, is not going to help you know your numbers. Abel, if you truly want to know your numbers, start with job costing every project you're doing. Okay. Start with tracking your leads. We have our Know Your Numbers course. It's now called Nail Your Numbers. If you go to the contractorfight.com, it's like less than $100 or something, I think. And we teach you the basics of knowing your numbers. Okay. But you're doing $17,000 a month. And what's your profit on that? Okay. Knowing your numbers, guys. And Abel, this is a great question. What should I do to know my numbers? Number one, set a goal for the year. And then reverse engineer to how many leads and sales you need. How many sales do you need based on your average job size? Right? And then based on your closing rate and all that other crap. And then you track it. Because just hitting the sales goal doesn't mean a thing if you're not making profit. What is your profit goal? Every week, your bookkeeper should be giving you a printout. Okay? Should be giving you a printout of your profit and loss sheet and a cash flow report. Where is your money going? I know all this sounds overwhelming, Abel, which is why I'm telling you, just start job costing. Because when you job cost, you sell a project for $5 or $10 grand and you get to the end of it, you're like, shit, I only kept $1,700. It's time to cut your dick off, man, and fucking retire. Okay. Don't know why I just said that. It just popped out. But that's like DEFCON fucking bad shit happening in your life. If you're not making money on the jobs you already have, you have 17 grand a month coming in right now and you're barely getting by. You got some serious financial discipline problems. And again, I'm not picking on you. I'm telling you, it is literally a discipline issue. You are either not prospecting and filling enough airplane seats. You don't know where to spend your marketing money, or you're not spending any marketing money because you don't track your shit. You don't have enough profit. I mean, 17 grand a month is fine if like you're in the first 1 or 2 months of your business. All right. I don't know how long you've been in business, Abel, but that is pathetic as far as top line revenue goes. And again, I'm not picking on you. This facts. It's just money. What the fuck is 17 grand a month really going to do? So that tells me you're probably not marketing. You're probably not very good at sales. Okay. And that's okay. There's a lot of shit I'm not good at. a lot of shit that I'm terrible at. So it's time to get serious here, man. Start with implementing the shit you already need to do, or that you already know to do, that you've heard here or from other books or podcasts or whatever the hell is. Go do the shit you got to do. By doing, you will learn your numbers. By having a weekly money meeting with yourself and your bookkeeper, not your CPA. I talk to my CPA maybe once a month. Okay. So sit down. Hey, what money's coming in next month? Fuck, nothing. What bills are due? Oh shit, we better get our ass in gear. That's knowing your numbers. Well, how many leads do I need to pay the bills? And I don't mean top line. How many leads do you need to bring in? That's why, I track lead sources, not just by how many leads and closing rate. I track what are my highest gross profit lead sources. Okay. All these things work together. So create your own fucking spreadsheet or something and figure it out. Guys, this is about being resourceful. Okay. And able, when you start making some money, then you can hire people on your team that know more than you. Okay, but until now, you got to hodgepodge this shit, buddy. Hey, Tom, how much net profit should I make if I'm using 50% and making 600 grand? Because I get that I need to pay some of that 300K to taxes and other things. Your net profit, I don't know what your name is. Your net profit is whatever you want it to be. Seriously. Like if you spend less in overhead, okay, say your overhead's 200 grand a year and you got that 300 in gross profit coming in. Now you have 300 grand left. 200 goes to pay the overhead, which is you and some marketing and your shop and truck payments. That means you have $100,000 left of net profit. Meet with your accountant and create a profit plan and a tax plan, because you're going to get taxed on that $100,000 of profit, okay? And probably whatever you pay yourself, depending on the entity that your business is set up, whether you should be paying yourself partially as a W-2 and some distributions and all. This is such a crazy question. But how much net profit should I make? That depends on what your goals are. And by the way, and this is a good question, I start by saying, literally, I have a blank slate in front of me every year in every business that I have. And I go, okay, what amount of net profit cash do I want to have in the bank at the end of 2025? That's how I start. I don't operate in percentages. Okay. Percentages, yes, there's always a percentage, but when I set my goals for net profit, I don't give a shit about the percentage. I care about the dollar amount. Okay. You can go, I want 20%. Well, 20% of fucking, 150 in revenue isn't shit. Okay. So that's why I go, what's the dollar amount? Okay. So let's just say I want to do $100,000 in cash that I have a choice of what to do with it. I can spend it all on Uncle Sam and pay taxes, or I could spend it reinvesting in the business or some other properties or whatever the shit that I want to do is. Okay. Guys, the financial piece is bigger based on all your goals, but I'm going to go, I want to make 100 grand there. And let's just say in our example, your overhead is 200 grand a year. That includes paying you a salary of 100 grand. And then you get another 100 grand for marketing and trucks and all the other bullshit that you have. Now your overhead and your net profit goal is 300 grand. And if you divide that by a 50% gross profit, you got to bring in 600,000, produce 600 grand at a 50% to keep the 300, which you already had in your math there. Okay. So that last 100 is whatever the hell you want it to be. Okay. AJA, what do you use as CRM? I use HubSpot. I use HubSpot for Simplify Painting, and we use a thing called Entreport for the fight. None of you on here will ever need to use Entreport. Let me just tell you that. You'll fuck it up. So I don't even touch it. Which isn't saying much. But anyway. All right. Last call. You got itchy beard. My nose. All right, you're welcome. Anything else, you guys? All right, it's 2:17 on my clock. At 2:20, I'm going to be done. So I will wait all the way till 2:20 for another question. And if there's not one, then I'm out of here. And if we get one before that, I'll answer it. And that'll be the last question. Yes, I just said I still run the painting company. We started in July. I have 4 subcontractor teams. I have an admin assistant, and I hired somebody to help do business development on a part-time basis. And so I spend about 12 to 16 hours a week on that company right now. We did about 200 grand in our first 4 months. At we sold at about a 60% gross profit, and we produced it in the mid 50s. All right. I'm in Colorado Springs. Anything else? My God, were you even paying attention? What's the name? I mentioned the name like 17 times. It's called Simplify Painting in Colorado Springs. Pay attention. Unless you weren't here 10 minutes ago. You're welcome, Rusty. AA, it's okay, man. We're good. I've already said it like 17 times. Coming off a cold. I was down for the count a few days ago. All right. Time's up. I appreciate you guys. Hey, share the show with another contractor. If you're catching the replay, appreciate it. Drop your comments in. I'll still check them and reply to things that I see if you have questions. And appreciate you guys a ton being part of the fight. And be on the lookout. If you're not on our email list, go to thecontractorfight.com/50 or /job cost for those of you that want our job costing tool that's free to help you figure shit out with your numbers and don't mess with the money. And that being said, you're going to want to be on our list if you're at all interested in our contractor business school, which is designed for all of you that are under $500,000 a year. Let me just say that the training you're going to get, the access to the things that you're going to get for the price point is ridiculously stupid low, to the point that I'm like, I might have to change the price. But I can't because we've already started setting things up on the back end. So it is what it is. So happy New Year's. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Hope you had a good Christmas, all that good shit. Stay healthy. Make wise choices. Stop messing with the money. Okay? Don't mess with the money. And I promise you guys you'll be good. I'm out.